So guys, if you're watching this video right now, I want to believe that you're learning AI automation, and I know you're confused, you're overwhelmed, and you don't know what you're doing. Don't worry, because I was in your shoe like 2 months ago when I started learning this AI automation. I was confused. I was jumping from one tool to another, and it even made the matters worse. So if you're in that situation, I'm going to help you with the things I'm going to share with you in this video to help you know what to do and how to learn fast. Because so far I've been able to build a lot of automation workflows, even using Anything and Make, and I'm going to share with you how I did this. First thing is, before you even start going into AI automation, I want to believe that you understand what AI automation is. Now, once you have gained this understanding, you have to understand one thing, that AI automation has to do with system and not just tool. Because once we talk about AI automation, most people start thinking about Anything, and nobody will think about it as a system that will give you an output. What it means is that every AI automation has to start with a trigger and goes through a process to give you an output. So the number one thing you have to understand is what output you want to get from the automation workflow you want to build. Once you have understood this, you'll be able to understand what should trigger that work process to start in the first place before it gives you the output you're looking for. So that is the number one thing you have to understand. Understanding the trigger, the process, and the workflow. And trigger can be anything. It could be on filling a form and submitting it, or receiving a message, or even sending a message, or even making a webhook quest. It could be anything. And once you understand this based on the automation you're building, then it makes the whole process easy. So there are also ways that you can do this by making out your design, making wireframes, or even before you start building, but that's going to be for another day. So the second thing you have to do is to make sure you create while you're watching these videos, because I know a lot of people are watching on YouTube and they're just watching for watching sake. You have to open 2 tabs on your laptop, such that as you're watching these YouTube videos, you are practicing what you are saying, and that way you're going to be conversant with the tool you're using to build your automation, and you're going to be confident. You're not going to be scared trying to do these things. That way, if you have problems, try to figure out how to solve the problem, and by doing that, you're learning more. So working and or creating as you're watching or as you're learning is the best way for you to do this, so that you don't get confused or overwhelmed. Then another thing is, as a beginner, you have to start with one tool. Like I told you, I started with Anything. I was confused when they started talking about API, webhook, and stuff like that. Then I went to Make. Make even made matters worse, because I was thinking as a beginner, Make was going to be beginner friendly. It was beginner friendly, but then I went back to Anything and I felt more comfortable. So you just have to choose one tool you want to work with. It could be Zapier, it could be Make, it could be Anything, and then you stick with it. Over time, you get used to it, and then you can transfer your skill to other tools that you may want to start with. Talking about starting, you should also start with building simple workflows. A lot of people that I have seen that are learning AI automations are always excited about building AI agents, and most times they get confused when they start talking about system prompts and user messages and stuff like that. But if you start with building simple workflows like sending an email or updating a sheet or database, that way you're going to find things more easier by the time you start little, and then over time you upgrade to learning the tough or difficult ones that may need you to be comfortable with too very well before you even start learning. So that is another thing you have to do to help yourself to learn better. Then the next thing I do is trying to use real life tools. Like, you shouldn't use demo tools or testing tools. You should use real life tools. Like, if you're going to be building a workflow that will allow someone to update their email, or to send an email, or even update a database, you should use actual email and make sure you receive a message, so that you see that the workflow you're building can actually work. So that way you know that you're doing something that can be usable in real life. So using demo account and other stuff, they don't really help matters. So you have to use something that will actually work in real life. So you have to try to avoid that list. Another one is, once you're building your workflows, you may be making mistakes, like even when you're following tutorials, because you might not really things might go wrong, maybe from your system or from your network or from the tool you're using, because most of these tutorials may have been created like 2 months, 3 months ago, and maybe the tool you're using may have made some updates. You may get confused once you have any error, or start panicking because you don't know what to do. The best thing you can do, which is what I do myself, is just to take a screenshot of the workflow and go to ChatGPT and ask it for help. It's going to tell you what went wrong and tell you how to correct it. So that is the best way you can even learn, because if you're making mistakes, you can struggle to find the answer, and once you're able to find solution to your problem, it will stick like you have solved that problem. When it comes out next time, you know exactly what to do. It is even going to help you learn faster. That is my go-to trick. So you should try it while you're building your workflow. So another thing you have to do is make sure you master workflows that are relevant. There are some workflows that are not really relevant, like things that don't really like add much. And the best way for you to find workflows that are very relevant is just using ChatGPT to ask it about workflows that businesses really need, because the end goal of learning automation is to serve businesses and make money. So if you go to ChatGPT and ask it to give you a list of automations you can do for businesses that will either scale their business, give them large return on investment, just generally help them make more money. That way, you're going to see a list of automations that you can actually learn, and practicing those are going to be very useful for you, because you're mastering the things that actually matters and not learning automations that are not really that necessary. Another thing you have to master is how to prompt AI. Like if you're building an automation with AI agents, you will be required to train the agent, and that is where you will need prompt. Prompt is different from where you're chatting with the tool. It's like a system way of training the AI agent, because any agent you're going to be using will be blank until you give it the prompts that it's going to be working with. So learning how to engineer prompts is going to help you like in the long run, because even if you're following the tutorials they are doing online, some of them might not really give you these prompts they are using. Like you may have to like either screenshot it and tell ChatGPT to extract the words for you, or you try to figure out the prompts yourself. So that's why you have to learn AI prompt engineering, so that you can be able to train your AI agents. It's a very important skill that you will need while you're trying to work with AI workflows or while you're trying to build AI automation. So that is something you have to really put into consideration. So these are the few tips that I have for anybody that is beginning to learn Inneten or Make or Zapier or anywhere at all. Like there are a lot of tools that you can use for AI automations, and if you're overwhelmed, just practice these tips that I've given you now, and you're going to see the results you're going to get. And if you found value in this video, please don't fail to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.